Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Love of Biology. Today we are learning about solvent of the life. Thing but a water continuation. So solution is a liquid that is a homogeneous mixture of the substances. Then solvent, it is a dissolving agent of a solution. Solute is a substance that is dissolved. So both solvent and solute will form the solution. In an aqueous solution is one in which water is the solvent. So the solute, so it will dissolve in the solvent to form the solution. Water is a versatile solvent due to its polarity, which allows it to form the hydrogen bonds easily because of its polarity nature. When ionic compound is dissolved in the water, each ion is surrounded by a sphere of water molecules. We call it as a hydration shell. So here each ion is surrounded by a water molecules. So hydration shell they are forming if ionic substances are dissolved. Okay. So water can also dissolve compounds made up of non-polar molecules also. Even large polar substances such as proteins can dissolve in the water if they have ionic in the polar region. So larger molecules also can dissolve based on their ionic in the polarity nature. So proteins are the example. So they can also dissolve. Here you can see. So water other properties, a hydrophilic substance is one that has an affinity for the water. So hydrophobic substance, it does not have the affinity for the water. So oil molecules are hydrophobic because they have relatively non-polar bonds. Hydrophilic means they can dissolve in the water molecules. So a colloid is a stable suspension of the fine particles in a liquid. So they will form. So hydrophobic, they does not dissolve. Hydrophilic, they will dissolve. So oil molecules are the hydrophobic because they have a relatively non-polar bonds. If polar bonds are there, then only they can dissolve in the water. Most biochemical reactions occur in the water. Chemical reactions depend on collisions of the molecules and therefore on the concentration of the solutes in an aqueous solution. So, chemical reactions they will depend upon the collisions of the molecules and based on the concentration of the solutes. So, molecular mass is the sum of all the masses of all atoms in a molecule. Number of molecules are usually measured in the moles, where 1 mole means 6.020 to the power of 23 molecules. So if we need the molecular mass, we have to calculate all the masses. Avogadro's number in the unit Dalton were defined such that 6.020 to the power of 23 Daltons means 1 gram. So molarity. It is a molarity. It is a number of moles of solute per liter of a solution. So we can count the number of molecules of solute per liter of a solution by knowing their molarity. So another property of the water is a hydrogen atom in a hydrogen bond between water two molecules can shift from one to the other. The hydrogen atom leaves its electron behind and is transferred as a proton or hydrogen ion. So the molecule with the extra proton is now a hydronium ion, though it is often represented as H+. The molecule with the proton is now a hydroxide ion, which will lose it as the OH negative sign will be there. If they have the extra proton, H+, we can often represent it as H+ with a positive sign. So H+ or more, we call it as a acid, or OH or more, we call it as a base. Water is a state of dynamic equilibrium in which water molecules dissociate at the same rate as they are formed. So they will dissociate as they form. So equally dynamic equilibrium they will maintains. So statistically rare, the dissociation of the water molecules has a great effect on the organism. Change in concentration of the H plus and OH can drastically affect the chemistry of a cell. So the changes in these H plus and OH will change the structure, affinity, chemistry of the cell. So effects of changes in the pH. Concentration of H plus and OH are equal in the pure water. Adding certain solutes, if we add any solute, acid and the base modifies the concentration. So an acid is any substance that increases the H plus concentration of a solution. Base is any substance that reduces the H plus concentration of a solution. So they will increase or decrease the concentrations. Aqueous solution at 25 degrees centigrade, the product of H plus and OH is constant and can be written as a H plus OH gives rise to 10 to the power of minus 14. The pH of a solution is defined by the negative logarithm of H plus concentration, which we written as pH is equal to minus log H plus. For a neutral aqueous solution, H plus is 10 to the power of minus 7. That means a 7 will be the neutral solution. So, in a pH scale, so acidic solutions have pH values less than the 7, that is 1 to 7. Basic solutions have pH values greater than the 7. Most biological fluids have the pH in the range of 6 to 8, that is the neutral one actually. So 1 to 7 acidic, 7 to 14 basic. But in between this, that is 6 to 8, that is 7 actually neutral one. The internal pH of most living cells must remain close to the pH 7, that is neutral. Buffers are substances that minimize the changes in the concentration of H plus and OH in a solution. Most buffers consist of an acid-base pair that reversibly combines with the H plus. So buffers, they will minimize the changes. So threats of the water quality. So one of the thing is acid precipitation. That is rain. Refers to the rain, snow, or fog with a pH lower than 5.6. Acid precipitation is caused mainly by the mixing of different pollutants with water in the air and can fall at some distance from the source of pollutants. So acid precipitation is caused by the pollution, and acid precipitation can damage life in the lakes and streams. Effect of acid precipitation on the soil chemistry are contributing to the decline of some forests. Because of this, many forests and water streams are polluting. Yeah? So human activities such as burning the fossil fuels threatens the water quality. Carbon dioxide is released by the fossil fuel combustion and contributes to a warming of earth called the greenhouse effect. Acidification of the oceans leads to the decrease in the ability of corals to form the calcified reefs. So all these are the human activities may lead to these changes in the environment. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you everyone.